Hey guys, Euroslam here, and today's video is all about the Toronto Raptors. Today we look at the top 5 Raptor coaches in the 25-year history of the franchise. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and without further ado, let's get to the video. In at number 5, we have Butch Carter. Now, Butch Carter coached the Raptors from 1997 to 2000. He was the first Raptors coach to lead the franchise to the playoffs, although they would get swept by the Knicks in 3 pretty close games. The following season, he was replaced by the all-time great coach Lenny Wilkens, and Butch would not coach for an NBA team ever again. In at number 4, we have Sam Mitchell. Now, Mitchell had a rough beginning with the Raptors. He had to coach a disgruntled Vince Carter, who basically stopped trying as a plea to be traded. And eventually, Carter's wish did come true, as he was traded on December 17th to the New Jersey Nets. Now Mitchell is stuck with a rebuilding and retooling roster. Fortunately for him, in 2006, the Raptors hired Brian Colangelo, the Suns' president and general manager, who had turned the Phoenix Suns from a rebuilding team to a legit championship contender. Sam Mitchell would go on to make the playoffs twice in his 4 years, losing in the first round both times before eventually being fired 17 games into his 5th season. He did win Coach of the Year in 2007, but showing little success in the playoffs, with a franchise eager to succeed, resulted in the Raptors moving on from him. In at number 3, we have Lenny Wilkens. Now, Wilkens is a man that many consider one of the greatest coaches in the history of basketball. He won an NBA championship with the forgotten Seattle Supersonics in 1979. Many Raptors fans and management hoped he could do the same for the Toronto franchise. He made the playoffs in both of his first 2 seasons with the Toronto Raptors, and things looked promising as the Raptors had made it to the first conference semifinals. Unfortunately, they would lose in heartbreaking fashion by 1 to the Philadelphia 76ers in Game 7. You all remember that game. Carter missed a potential game-winning shot. It was rough.
Curry has it. Carter trying to get free. Carter at the buzzer. No good. And the Sixers hold on and advance to the conference finals.
In his 3rd and final season, the Raptors would go 24-58, dealing with injuries, mainly Vince Carter, of course. Lenny Wilkens would then move on to coach the New York Knicks the following season, before retiring as an NBA coach in 2005. Alright guys, before we get to the top 2 coaches, we have a quick honorable mention. Jay Triano. This is a guy I had high hopes for, as he was the first Canadian-born head coach in NBA history, and he was coaching the only Canadian team in the NBA at the time. Unfortunately, he never made the playoffs in 3.5 years with the club, and was part of the post-Bosch rebuilding era, which wasn't the easiest of times. Alright guys, and at number 2, no surprise here, Dwayne Casey. The longest serving coach in Raptors history, coaching the franchise for 7 years. With Colangelo gone and Ujiri taking over the front office duties, the Raptors GM wanted more of a defensive-minded coach, and Casey was hired. In his 3rd season with the Raptors, they would improve their record by 14 wins, winning their division and making the playoffs, losing to the Nets in a tough, hard-fought 7-game series. From there on out, the Raptors would consistently improve under Casey and continue to be one of the top teams in the East. Unfortunately, LeBron stood in the Raptors' way, and every year it was the same result. Eliminated by LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. After the 3rd straight year losing to the Cavs in the playoffs, the Raptors fired Casey. Ironically, Casey would go on to win Coach of the Year right after this, as he'd accumulated the most wins in Raptors history with 59. Alright guys, in at number 1, most of you probably didn't expect this, it's Drake. I'm just kidding guys, Drake is not number 1. Alright guys, in at number 1, Nick Nurse. Had to be. It just had to be. The current Raptors coach takes the number 1 spot despite only coaching the Raptors for a year and a half so far. Because he did what every other Raptors coach failed to do so far. He won a freaking championship! And many people were surprised when Nurse was chosen to take over the Raptors coach. He wasn't the flashiest of names, but this guy's accolades speak for themselves. He's coached all over the world. He's won championships in the D-League. He spent 5 years working under Casey, and he knew the team very well. Despite Kawhi departing to the Los Angeles Clippers, the Raptors currently hold a 46-18 record without him. Nurse looks en route to win the 2020 Coach of the Year once the season resumes. Thanks so much for watching my video, guys. Please comment if you agree or disagree with any of the coaches on my list. I love talking basketball, and I can't wait for the season to begin. You can watch my other video right here, and you press the subscribe button right here. Thanks, guys.
Gives it to Fareed. Swatted away by Amir Johnson. 8 seconds. Terrence Ross going right at Kenneth Fareed with